I wrote this song called Roberta. And Roberta, all my songs really, I don't know why they're named that. I don't know anyone by the name of that. Well, some people I do actually know. Well, I don't know what, or maybe I knew them after I wrote it. But some titles are just rhythmically or phonetically cool. And like in the case of Roberta, I wanted a Latin type name because it's a Latin song, a Latin kind of timing song. And so I chose Roberta. And so it has 4 sections. And usually, most of my songs just have a verse and a chorus. But this one has 4 sections because it actually has an intro section, then a verse, then a chorus, then a verse and a chorus, and then an ending section. So it really has 4 sections. My natural finger that falls whenever I have an octave of 1 and 5 on my first and fifth finger in my left or right hand, my second finger seems to always fall on the fifth. With this. But listen to the rhythm. Listen to this. Isn't that cool? But I'm doing a lot slower. Why? Because I'm going to have a lot going on top of it. It's almost like I'm tracking it, but I'm actually playing it. You can too. All right, so here we go. Why am I going to play it slow? Because remember the first one was twice? The E, and then the F was twice, and then the G was twice, and then there was that quick little riff. A, B, A, B, A, F. That wasn't twice, that was right in a row. A, B, A, B, F. Then back to the 2 E's. But what if I don't do those next to each other? What if I octave them? Whoa! I'm gonna octave them. The second one is octave. But then I can't because I have no time to do anything. It's a grand, I hit the mic there. It's a grand fifth. And that part right there, that instead of going, you could, but this makes it a little defiant, a little bit sour instead of sweet. And I wanted that because at the time I was just... What am I going to put against that? Well, from the song, which now, even before this, the main part of this bass line song is just E and F. It doesn't even go up to G or A, B, F. It is just E and F. But it's not solid. It's broken. It's the bottom one to the top one to the middle one. Then to the F. There's not 2 times. It's just E, E, B, E, F, E, F, F, C, E. Remember, I'm in the intro. Notice that I'm playing pretty slow because, yes, it's going to switch into the double time. Or we could be in halftime now or switch to regular time. But what is against this beginning part? It is a counter melody that I made up not during this part, but during this part. The double time or regular time. And the line was this. And then I made this part, this second part. After many song times, I made up. Remember, I'm just going E, F, E, B, F, E, F, C, E, B, E, F, C. That's what I'm doing the left hand. I'm the left hand bass line. But in the right hand, after jamming many things, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself into the verse, which I am there. But that section that I'm about to slow way down in the right hand comes from that jam. And remember I said there's a second part of it. And what's the second part of it? It sounds like an incomplete thing. It is, because it's just, right? All right. So now check this out. So I'm not going to do it that fast. Remember this part? Listen to this. If I slowed it down. Remember every time before it was slow it be it. And what if I did the actual correct suite notes that are supposed to be with an E minor and an F major 7, an E minor and an F major 7, actually E minor 7 and then an F major 7 over. What if I did the actual suite notes in addition? So I end up with some thirds in between this third down here. It turns out sometimes it's a third, sometimes it's 2, sometimes the 1, in F, and then in E, I keep always the 5th. I didn't want to go to the C. Why? Because I probably tried it and it changed the character, and actually does change the chord because it's an E with a C bass. I'm sorry, C with an E bass. But anyways, I wanted that open E 5th, so I'm not going to ruin it with the C and change it completely. No, I wanted an E, open E5 chord. But then can you hear that? In between that E and F. And what if I did that like this? Slow. When I did that, now I got my little answer to that little riff in the right hand is a little riff in the left hand. But here's the second part. Remember this part? This is part 2 of the lead line from the jam. Against each other, it does work. So I have the slow intro. Before it doubles. Before you had it. Now you have the same, more happening in the same beat pattern. So you almost doubled it. You did double it. You either double it or half it, but you double it. And the street, the magic of Roberta is all letters except for G. And it became G sharp. And what you get here, clustering it, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3. No G, but just G sharp. Listen to the sound. Almost Egyptian. And remember, it's anywhere on the keyboard. Cluster 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4 of the street that we're talking about here. And E, F, G sharp, A, B, C, D, E is the lead line. Wow, I sounded. And then I just fooled with it and I wrote it. Hear that little turnaround? Doesn't that sound familiar? Remember that part from the intro? But now here it is in the main melody. And that's all within the street. You know, B, C, B, A, B is right in the street of Roberta Street. It's almost like a mystery chord. 4, 3, 1, 3, 4. To be able to see it everywhere. Let me get to the page. Here I am right here. Here it is. Here's the turnaround. And then I have this cool 5th part. I'm going to scoot it down. Wait. Here it is. How did I figure that out? A lot of fooling around. Now, for one thing, I knew that remember, was that E minor 7, F major 7 from the beginning? What's that? Is it F major 7? The first was an E minor, and then I put the 7 in there. And then it was an F major 7. So it's always F major 7. And you have all the additions you can put in there, the 2, the 6, right? And all the major chords you can put in there, all the sweet tones. And now you have what? You still have E minor 7, 2, 4. 7, 2, 4. And then if you move that, just squish it a little bit, you get F major 7, 2. That's always going on in the song. E, F, E, F, E, F, E, the E minor and the F major 7. Always going on. So when you're in the E minor 7, you have an F sharp. When you're in the F, you don't, but you have all the other notes. They're all sweet, legal, excellent notes on a major chord. 3, major 7, 6, 2, all those. But then when I go back to the E, I wanted the F sharp. I didn't want an F because that's not in there. So I fit against that bass line. It's constantly going. Bass line over here. Bass line. Doom, ding, doom, doom, dee, dee, E, A, E, F, 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 E, E, A, F, 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 E, E. And against it, I'm going to go turn around. Listen. Just fooling around fifths. Back to the beginning. Then I have to give you a little bit of a fooling around. And how did I find those two parts between E and F and BC? From the original street. There's an E and F in there, and there's a BC in there, BC, BC in there. There's an EF, EF, BC, BC in there. And that sounds good on top of So I just fooled around and trilled, or just trilled between and a twirl around the good notes, just emphasizing them. Then I do it in the best part where it is that E minor 7, 2. Remember that? There's fifth, but it has an F sharp in there. But then what if I went to the minor third, which is just the squish right there between the two? Between the 2 and the minor third is always a squish. And that's what I do. Instead of just going, then went, see, it's right there. Look for the squishes, look to turn them into little twirls. So listen to it. Twirl, turn around. Isn't that cool? So this is all verse. E, F, E, F, E, F, E, F, E, F, E, F. And then you got to go to a chorus. And the chorus in this is a minor 2/7 chords, which are my favorite. I love minor 2/7 chords, wherever they are. Here's a C minor 7, 2. Remember, I do not have to play the letter name in the right hand. So like here, there's 7, 2, minor third. I'll do an inversion. We're starting with the 7 in my thumb, and the 2 of whatever letter it is in this case an A. I'm just doing chromatic neighbors to show them all. Don't they sound great? Oh, I just love minor 7, 2 chords. I incorporated them into the chorus of Roberta. Yes, I did chromatic neighbor, but I went right in the scale of the street. I went right in the street. I went right in the street. every note, every letter note except for G, make it a G sharp, and that's the streets of Roberta. Don't play a G until you want to. When you're in the E minor or in the F major 7, you can play a G. But when you're fully in the street and you're playing the melodies, no G, but it's a G sharp. So when I got done, I went A minor 7-2, B minor 7-2, C minor 7-2, B minor 7, A. And then I crawled finally up to D minor 7-2 once. And then I go back to the E minor 7-4 in this case. And I'm going to stop right there because that chord is such a beautiful chord. It's a spread out chord. It starts with the 4, you got the 7, this is off of E, you got the minor 3, and you got the 5. Look at that spacing. I'm going to do little chromatics to that. Always, once you ever find a chord, it's always just good to move it just around, just to find and look what it looks like, just chromatic neighbor. Isn't that cool? So, that's considered in the minors. It's a minor because it's all sweet notes on the minor chord. The 4 is a sweet note, the 7 is a sweet note, of course it is. And then if I move that to the next note up, like we're going E, F, E, F, E, F, E, F, what about that B? Is that wrong? No, because in a major 7, which it is, the +4 is a sweet note. Listen to it. Okay. I'm using what do you call it? I'm using what do you call that? Full build of it. Here's the major 7 with the 2 and the +4, and then I'm chromatic neighbor. But I'm using 2 hands just so I can do it quickly and show every note. Isn't that cool? It sounds like it's a cool chord. I'm just a straight. There's a C major 7, 2 +4. Isn't that cool? I get distracted off these really cool chords because they're so cool. Listen to how it goes. Here. Same rhythm of the chorus. A minor 2-7, B minor 7-2, C minor 7-2. Just going back and forth. And then 1 D minor, and right to E minor 7-4, F major 7 +4. Well, I know I'm throwing a 5th in there, because I always throw 5ths in between notes of octaves. Your second finger's right there. It's just right. Not all the time. And also preceding to the next chord coming. Well, that's discussion for another day. But that is a lot of. That is 5ths. That's all I do. Octaves and 5ths on the left hand. Just constantly back and forth. I made up this rhythm, I know. It's right out there. And then 1 D. Like this. Now, what would happen if we put the melody right in there? Here. Turn. Here, watch it. F sharp. Now watch it. Here we go, melody. Now here's where that turning around. Remember that squish. Hey, here's the chorus. See, I'm in the chorus. A minor 7-2, 1 B minor 7-2, C minor 7-2. A minor 7-2. Do 1 D minor 7-2. Bring it back. That, my friends, is a jam in Roberta.